right, so good to have you back. It's still Weekend Politics, or wherever it is you're watching us from. We're live here in Calabar, Nigeria. Now, let me quickly introduce my guest. He's a spokesperson for the state government, seasoned, broadcast guru. Yes, exactly. He has won several awards as far as this profession is concerned. Immediate past Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress and currently the Honorable Commissioner for Information in our state. I have joining me on set Honorable Dr. Erasmus Ekban. So good to have you join us, Honorable, and good evening.
Thank you so very much.
Now, sir, let's look at Friday. Friday, we saw one of the biggest events in agriculture, happening here, where His Excellency distributed mini tractors to farmers in our state. And most importantly, he said that was just the first batch. So I'd like you, Commissioner, sir, talk to Cross Riverians, bring up to speed with what happened there and how it all happened. Tell us, sir.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Good evening, Cross Riverians. We're actually in the season of sweetness, and a lot of good things are happening to Cross River State. Yeah, so about the mini tractors, we had approved for about the first phase of the exercise, about 108 mini tractors to aid our very low-level farmers, to help mechanize their agricultural activities, and then to some extent turn to commercialize some stuff, because at some point, instead of actually allowing these our farmers to go through very typical pruning of the soil, tilling of the soil and planting, we decided to provide them with these mini tractors that comes with 5 components of plug, ridger and all that, and planter and all that, to aid them that. So that promise was actually kept by His Excellency on Friday, where 108 tractors were actually distributed to cooperative farmers across the state. I think it's about 6 per local government for first phase, and we're expecting another 108 again to come in. And then it wasn't just the exercise it's been over a period of time where committees were actually set, to actually pick out those that are qualified to mount these tractors. Incidentally, we have women having the upper hand, in those that were actually given these tractors to use. We know they will actually put them to good use. Just like the leper story, out of 10, one came back to say thank you. But I believe strongly that since this is actually like not totally free, there's a commitment to it of some amount of money. You definitely work hard to see that you pay back some of this over a long period of time, and just a token of about 10% being placed on the ground to collect the tractors. Okay. So it was a very welcome initiative. It was a very good idea, knowing that His Excellency had done well on the agriculture. Of course, our policies and programs in the agricultural sector is revolutionary. We are looking at Cross River State as being one of the best produce of these agricultural products in the sub-Saharan. If I listen to my colleague very well, then on Friday, we are now being mentioned against with states that are very good in agriculture. The likes of Taraba, the likes of Sokoto, those states that are very good with seed plantings and all that. So Cross River State actually is being mentioned amongst the level of those states. So I think His Excellency is doing it all at once, like trying to choke all sectors, see that we're up in almost every sector. That is not just for agriculture. We're talking about mini tractors for now, but I want to make you understand that in every other sectors, His Excellency honestly has done so very well. To me, putting like 6-8 years into 2 years thereabouts. So it's highly commendable.
Great. Now, about 2 weeks ago or less, the ESCO, had some resolutions, and now it's leading me to the next sector now, which is the road infrastructure, where we saw some roads in Abbey also giving attention. So I'd like you to also update Cross Riverians on what is also happening in the road infrastructure.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Yeah, for the road aspect, I personally, I must commend His Excellency and of course my colleague, the Commissioner for Works, who have never rested. You know, we thought it wise to actually see how well we can, you know, possibly do all the roads in Cross River State as we can. So far, we have completed, dusted more than 60 kilometers of road across, the state, and we're working on close to about 130 kilometers still. So that new approval, it's coming up. A lot of, because of the seasons, the rainy season and all, it's very difficult to actually walk these roads. But we want to ensure that some areas that were very, very terribly bad and impassable, are being, given some level of attention. You recall that earlier on we actually approved for the intervention of the federal roads. The clearance here is that, most times we cry on these federal roads, but they are strictly federal government roads. But His Excellency is in magnanimity most times would always ask that since we are perseverance plying this road, we have to intervene. We tried to intervene in the then Ikomobudu Road when we lost one of our colleagues, Abubakar Ewa. Unfortunately for us, it was intervention, and some of the rains must have actually washed all that out. And for the Abi area axis, Akampa axis, and all that, we are still doing some heavy intervention. Even the Commissioner of Works was somewhere in Abi on Saturday, to actually look at the designs and how, these constructions of this road will come up. His Excellency has been very, very passionate on, road issues. He has never taken road issues for granted. And of course, we know that once in any system or administration, once there's good road network and of course power, the rest is history. That's what we're working towards, trying to achieve that. So far so good. I think we have done some internal routes, both in Yako, Ikom, and all that. We're yet to visit Sologo. We have done some good roads in Ukele, and still, we have machines working out there. And then even in Calabar South, a lot of roads have been concretized. We change the pattern because we have our terrain is waterlogged, so we have to go on concrete pavement, for most of these roads. A lot of roads in Calabar South that were never passable, that were actually, for hideouts, for hoodlums and all that have actually been done, and solar lights, street lights have, been put in place too. So I think for, infrastructure, I want to kudos. He has really done very well. Just like I said, not only in agriculture. And if you actually turn to any other sector, I'll still tell you in aviation, in the health sector, education, we're trying our best. It's just that we have a population of about above 2 million to, cater for. So it doesn't really get to everybody at the same time, but gradually, I think being positive, we're getting there. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Doctor. Let's quickly go on a commercial break, and when we are back, we still have Dr. Erasmus Ekpan, Honorable Commissioner for Information, here in the studio. Weekend Politics returns shortly. Stay with us. Let's go on that very important break. Welcome back. We're ready to go pay that bills. Okay, so we still have here in the studio Honorable Dr. Erasmus Ekpan, Commissioner for Information. Okay, sir, Commissioner, let's look at we've been able to touch agriculture, we've been able to touch the road. Before we go get more updates from you, now some weeks back, sometime that was last month precisely, the Honorable Commissioner, your colleague, put up a guideline for schools now. I'd like you to talk to Cross Riverians, where we had schools for primary stopping and closing at 1 and secondary at 2 and all of that, where textbooks can now be inherited. I should use that word. Now let's look at this guideline that the state is running with.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Yeah, the Commissioner for Education, the professor, he's very apt at, in what he's doing and all that. So we try to set the standards for our schools in Cross River State. If you notice, most of our children had actually, lost out from the, idea of reading textbooks, going through this and all that. So I think we had a kind of PPP with some foreign investors that are ready to, the World Bank are ready to, assist us with some level of training of our teachers, because for whatever we are able to feed into the is, it comes from our teachers. So we want to train some teachers. At the same time, want to equip our schools with textbooks, and ensure that we get the right syllabus for, our students to like. We want to get out the best brains in Cross River State. And not only that, the commissioner, went ahead to set out task force for, quackery schools. People could actually just sit in their house, set out some, schools that, are not profiled or are not up to standards, impacting very wrong knowledge rather for the children growing up for our future tomorrow. So all that, as I speak with you, the team is somewhere in Ecom, trying to check this quackery, and at the same time, we have already done our bid as a state to get that Camp Tapad assist, from World Bank to assist us with, various school, trainings of, teachers, and then some level of funds meant for 0 to primary 6, and then even up to, the Sunday school. So we are trying to set a standard, for Cross River State to, actually, get well-baked and, baked children for tomorrow, not just half-baked and, kids that, would, turn out something else. So I think the Education Commissioner is doing very well. The most interesting is these quackery schools. Of course, we know some people turn their homes, to crèche and all that, and of course not registered and, not profiled. So we want to check that out and stamp that out. So we are coming out with the perfect timetable that has every school within Cross River State ambience would, cooperate with, to see that you don't overstress these children, and then you don't overflog their time, or you give them, when their brain is still very active, to take what they can take and all that. So I think it's a very good initiative.
Very, very well. Thank you very much. Now, finally, let's get of some updates that Cross Riverians would actually need at this moment. What is the government up? What are we hoping to see in weeks, coming, Mr. Commissioner?
No, thank you so very much. Yeah, we're actually hoping to see a lot, coming to Cross River State. To start with, we had, it's one thing to say I want to be governor of a state, and it's another thing to actually have a blueprint, to have it in plan in mind what you want to do about Cross River State. Senator Prince Basedodo came well prepared, and so far so good. Like I tell you, he has, compacted these 2.5 years to about 6 years or 8 years of a normal administration of any other administration. The truth about it is we have already approved for groundbreaking of the Bakassi DC Port 1 kilometer walkway, where we're expecting that with negotiation with Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we will definitely come here for the groundbreaking. Of course, we know the business opportunities, we know the exposure of, Cross River State. Looking at it geographically, we're closer to one of the biggest economies in the world compared to the areas of the western side of Lagos. We're closer to China and Japan, so it's going to bring a lot to us, apart from, business opportunities, our youth employment and teaming youth employment and all that. And beside that, we have the very big one that, happened today. We have the Global United Christian Congress of Africa in Kukan that, came in with about 70 contingent from the Barbados, the Americans and all that, in collaboration with, the diaspora. They are just coming to see how it is in Calabar, coming to learn culture, coming to bring their own ideas, coming to see what we have. And of course, they will be part of us in our first Carnival Dry Run on the 19th. They're going to be part of it. So Calabar is choked with that. They're going to have a lot of business talk, a lot of visiting the urban council, where looking at our culture, where they are really from. You understand, to see how our marriages, it take place. At the same time, a lot of them will be coronated by the urban of Calabar. And then we're going to have a banquet. We're going to have concerts, music shows, and all that. So it's going to be a kind of almost 8 to 10 days, very exciting, moments for these our children, brothers and sisters that have come from the diaspora. Some of them would be, given awards. Some of them will be recognized, eminent personalities and all that. So I think it's a very good one for us. If you check the chairman, CRITCOM now is so busy. Of course, our leader, Gabe Ona, is also very, very busy. We're all putting this, they're all in Transcorp, and I think Channel View, and we're going to take them around some tourism sites, And then, it's just a way of even selling Cross River State, selling Calabar. Because to start with, we are trying to sell our product. The Carnival Calabar is the best product that comes out from Africa. And it's within Calabar. We have the best road, about 12-kilometer road, never found in any other route around. So I think we are doing very well there. So we need to sell ourselves to the world, and that's the aim here. And because we have a governor who is actually God-fearing and had actually told us, and we know that this state is owned by Jesus Christ. Luckily, after the Algiers in Algeria, we had actually won the right to host the Intra-African Trade Fair. You know what that means? It means the whole Africa, the whole world will be here in this Calabar. So we are rushing up a lot of things to see areas we're going to fix. We're looking at the Tinapa, a lot of places we're going to put to use for these foreigners to actually, have what, come to see and all that, where the trade fair would actually take those to me. Decide to take Tinapa, we'll put everything, and all that. So we just want a situation where it's a different Calabar, the narratives have changed. We look at Cross River State from a different perspective now. Our image has improved. You watch us every time in any other day. You see us, they're talking good things about Cross River State in either one of the national televisions of Arise, channels, TVC, and all that. These are all the logs Senator Prince Bassett brought to Cross River State. And this is just the beginning. We're here to see more. Of course, you're aware that Cross River State was even still chosen as the only state in the South that benefited from the special agro processing, where the Vice President came here to do the groundbreaking. So just imagine Cross River State in the next 3 years. 4 years, let's be positive, because we are taking Prince Otto to 2031 by the grace of God. And we pray by the grace of God, whoever takes over that mountain should be able to sustain this and then take Cross River State.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Erasmus Ekpang. Now, in 30 seconds, let's get your final message for Cross Riverians watching us right now.
Well, thank you so much, Cross Riverians. I want to thank you so much for your patience. I want to thank you so much for your belief. I want to thank you so much for believing in this government of Senator Prince Bassett. All I ask of is prayers. Please, it's not easy to be in that high seat. Let's continue to pray for the first family, continue to pray for Senator Prince Bassett, and continue to encourage him. I think it's better to encourage before you lay your problems. Let not just sit down and always talk and lay problems, because it's not actually easy to rule. But so far, so good. I think His Excellency has done well. So all we need is prayers, commitment, belief, just as everybody's doing now. A lot of hope has been restored. A lot of the government has so encouraged a lot of us. So hope has been restored. Cross River State is wearing a new narrative by the grace of God. Let's be positive.
Very well. Let's be positive there. Honorable Dr. Erasmus Ekpang, Commissioner of Information, thank you so very much, sir, for your time on the show. And a lot is happening in Cross River State, and this is the major channel we ensure we push out what His Excellency the Governor is doing in Cross River State. Thank you very much, sir. We hope that after the Carnival dry run, when our Caribbean friends and brothers are in town, we should bring you back here on set.
Yeah, they're already in town. They're in town already.
Yes, great.
Yeah, they are in town. So they have a very long 8-10 days activities, visiting site, going to the urban council, doing a lot of things, concerts, banquets. A lot of stuff,
It's fun in Calabar.
So it's a good one, yeah. Calabar is fun already.
Absolutely.
Christmas in the air,
Absolutely. Okay, so let's take a very short break. Our last guest on the show is going to be one of the regular faces you've been seeing here. Elder Comrade Esau Basedem is on standby to come. Let's go deep into political talk and analysis. Stay with us. Weekend Politics return shortly. Don't go anywhere.